Hi, I have a question for you. Do you ever evaluate your SEO agency's performance? Because here is a handy checklist that even makes it possible for you to check and evaluate your SEO agency yourself. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you have a lot on your mind and you need to know everything about anything. But I understand that SEO is often at the bottom of the list here and is therefore outsourced. I mean, SEO involves such specific knowledge that you prefer to rely on others. But without knowledge of the trade, how do you know if an SEO agency is doing the right job? I provide you with a checklist, a very easy one, how you can actually measure whether they're doing a good job and are worth their money. Because imagine that still after 18 months or so, 18 months of SEO optimization, you still don't see any results. I'll give you an example. 18 months ago, I did an SEO site scan for a business friend. And in doing so, I examined all the points that I mentioned later on. He and his marketing team had never dealt with SEO, so the results were more than disappointing. This happens often. It opened their eyes, though, as they were missing out on a huge amount of organic traffic, meaning potential customers, they decided to hire a local SEO agency that, until then, was also handling all the SEA for the company. But unfortunately, they didn't choose for the quality, they chose for the convenience. And the result actually worsened instead of improved. So, once confronted 18 months later with the new SEO report, the team was also somewhat surprised because the SEO agency had actually led them to believe that they were doing tremendously well. Well, that was really not the case. It's a typical example of, in the land of the blind, one eye is king. SEO is a profession, and if you don't know what to be aware of, you can spend a lot of money on your SEO agency without gaining any organic traffic. So in this particular case, the SEO agency blamed the site developers. They would not have done their part of the job properly. Again, I could easily refute this with the checklist I'm going to show you right now. And the best time to measure this depends on the agreement you made. My advice is to check it every 4 to 6 months. And by the way, you can also use parts of the checklist if your site builder has delivered a new site and claims it's SEO optimized, because often this is also not the case. So the first thing to check for, which seems obvious, but a lot of people still don't do it, is do you have an increase in organic search traffic? So it may seem a bit of cop-out, but it's not just about increase the organic search traffic. It's about being found on the right keywords so that you get the right visitors on the right pages. So how can you do this? Within 6 months, but preferably sooner, you want to be found on keywords that are number 1 in the top 8 within Google's ranking. Number 2, are used at least 3,000 times in a month. Are highly relevant for your business, that's number 3. Number 4, refer to pages that are useful to visitors. And number 5, refers to pages where you want to get a lot of visitors to. I will show you with tools like SEMrush, you can easily gain insights into this. SEMrush allows you to see whether your organic traffic increases over the months or not. I usually set myself to see the growth without the organic traffic search on brand names and product names. So disable the brand name and the product names because that's easy to be found on. Because you normally always rank on those. And an increase in organic traffic coming to your site by searching your brand or company name has more to do with branding than SEO. So you want to be found on different kind of topics related to your business. And you can also rise slightly with a lot of so-called low volume keywords. But basically that doesn't help you so much. Here you see a list with low volume keywords that have like 20 or 30 searches per month. But suppose you rank in the top 10 with a keyword that has this volume of 20 to 30 per month, and you're in a position of 9, you might get 1 visitor. And if you then go to the position 1 with a lot of effort and time, you will maybe get 15 extra visitors at most. So only ranking in the top 10 with low volume keywords is almost always a sign that your SEO is not on track. Number 2 on the checklist, keyword cloud and meta information. With a free browser plugin, SEO Crate for example, as you can see here, you can take samples to see if pages important to you contain enough and the right information. And this involves 3 things. Number 1, can you tell from the keyword cloud what the page is about? The keyword cloud that you see here should be clear enough to understand what this page is about, because this is what Google sees. So tip number 1, the first 2 lines of the keyword cloud must contain the most important keywords you want to be found on. If this is not the case, you are using too little text or the wrong keywords in your text. Number 2, does the text use the right and relevant words sufficiently? That you can see over here. And do the meta title and the meta description contain the most important keywords? That you can see over here. And tip number 2, with tools like SEMrush, again, you can also see whether the keywords you want to be found on have a sufficient volume, a sufficient search volume. In the Netherlands, for example, you can use the word headphones or the word headset. But headset has a significant higher search volume than headphone. The third item on the checklist is check your blog post and other content. A professional SEO agency will advise you to either create a blog and write articles for it, or provide each page with lots of relevant information. A combination of both is even better, by the way. So check some blog pages for the items I will tell you now. Every page or blog post needs to use titles with relevant keywords that properly reflect what the page is about. And you can check, are subheadings with relevant keywords used? And the third one, does the page provide content and in-depth information about a topic with at least 700 or more keywords? Or is the article or page only promoting your product? Because it should be very informative. Does each page link to other relevant pages that also deal with a topic or related topics? And last but not least, are the related, most recent and most popular articles shown on each page with a blog article and on your main page or subpages? Number 4 on the checklist is your site health. And tools like SEMrush can automatically scan your site to see how healthy your site is. In doing so, they can do an SEO site audit and check dozens of technical aspects and factors, and can see whether Google considers your site technically good enough for your page to rank. I periodically scan all our clients' sites, and because my friend's site was also among them, I saw that the site health had not improved. That was a sign for me to investigate the other points of this scan further. And SEMrush distinguish between errors, warnings and notices. Errors can have a huge impact on your ranking. Warning can have a big impact, and notices can potentially improve your ranking, but are often more a hygiene factor. You want to make sure that your overall site health is above 85-90. If not, your site developer or your SEO agency didn't do the job quite well. The 5th point on the checklist is your site speed, and it's very easy to check. Search engines want very fast sites, not only for the user, but also for themselves. The so-called bots search through all pages of all sites, and the longer it takes them to do so, the more power it consumes. And also very slow sites can be altered relevant, but will rarely rank high. For example, at sitespeedweb.dev, you can check for free, and I put a link down, whether your pages are fast enough. What I often come across is that WordPress developers, for example, do not take this into account at all and deliver very slow WordPress sites. At first glance, the site seems to function fine, because as a user with a fast internet connection, you don't notice anything about it. But once you do the check, you may find that the page of your mobile version or your mobile scores is lower than 20 in the scale on 1 to 100. And that page will never be able to rank and brings down your entire site. The last point on the checklist is structured data and author information. Because with the rise of AI in SEO, Google wants sites to feature structured data and preferably also know who the author of the article is. On schema.org, I again put a link down, you can test whether pages use structured data for free. And this is a very small piece of code that you can add to your page to indicate what information is offered. For example, author name, product specifications, product description, and so much more. And also author information is important to Google because it allows them to better determine an author's authority. If it turns out that the author has written a lot and in-depth about a topic anywhere on the internet or within their own site, Google gives them a high status. And that status weighs enormously in how high an article can rank. It's therefore wise to create a special author page like this one, for example, with all relevant information about the author and refer to it in each article. A bonus tip is to check for external links, because many SEO agencies have discovered a good earning model by offering external links. Another relation of mine had once spent €1,500 per month for 12 months to an SEO agency for buying links from other pages to his site. He just had no idea whether the links were of the right quality. Well, links from other sites to your site only make sense if they meet the following conditions. They must be links from sites with a domain authority and a page authority of at least 40 plus. The article linked to your site must be highly related to the content on your page. A page about bikes cannot and should not, in theory, link to a page about notebooks. They should be so-called do-follow links. And the words used to the link through must relate to what the link page is about. Because the higher the domain and page authority, the more expensive a link is. Links that meet the criteria mentioned cost on average between 100 and 150 euro. Sometimes a little bit more, but on average 100 and 150 euro. When you're in doubt, always ask for a second opinion, because the SEO world is still a land of cowboys. I have a passion for SEO, and you don't have to hire us. You can ask a second opinion to anybody, but make sure you don't get ripped off. It still happens a lot. Only a few SEO agencies understand their business. Make sure you have the right agency.